All right. So then we can go on to the property hunt, which is yay, everyone's favorite part. So the search that I'm going to set you up with is not through Zillow or Realtor.com. You can use those sites still, but they're third-party sites that are often outdated and produce inaccurate information. I know it's the most user-friendly, so I know a lot of people prefer that, and I totally get that. I'm not discouraging using that, but I would also use the portal that is through the multiple listing service, which is the MLS. It's the source of the information. So if I had someone selling their home and I was their listing agent, I would put all that information into the MLS. That's the source of it. So all of the listing agents enter their photos and descriptions for their sellers to actively market their homes through the MLS. So let's say there's 20 homes that I sent you through the MLS that match. You can go through your portal and favorite them. You can either favorite them or make it as a possibility or trash it. So it's really good. And I can see all of that, which is helpful. And I'm going to go through each one that you favorited, and I can make notes on there and say, 123 Main Street, that's a really busy road. Based on your questionnaire, you told me that you don't really want to be on a busy street. So let's take that one off the list. Oh, and 15 Atlantic Avenue, that sits right in front of the train tracks. You told me you wanted to be on a quiet street. So let's take that one off too. So there's going to be dialogue. So we're not really wasting our time. A lot of the times you don't know that, that's not right there on the listing. They're not showing you that in the photos that it sits right in front of train tracks. So it's really important that I catch those things so we're not wasting our time. So let's say I brought 7 down to 5, which is perfect. So, Saturday at 10 a.m., let's go out and see these 5 properties. So we'll meet at the property and then drive separately to the second, third, fourth, etc. I do not recommend seeing more than 5 in a day. And honestly, in a market that has such low inventory, seeing 5 in a day hardly even happens anymore because there's just not that much inventory that 5 properties would even fit your criteria. Unfortunately, lately, it's really been like 2 to 3. We haven't even been able to find 5. So we will meet at the house, go on to the next one. I don't want to do more than 5. And that is because, when the market gets a little bit better and there's more inventory, maybe that's when you're going to be ready to look. I still don't want to do more than 5 simply because it just gets confusing. Even, the sharpest, brightest, brilliant people, they're confused after 3, and it happens to everyone. So I would encourage you take really good notes after each one. We'll kind of talk about pros and cons after each showing to make sure that we're, doing a brain dump after each one. And then after the second one, I'll say, how does this compare to the first? So then we can narrow down, I like the second one way better than the first. So we'll eliminate the first. So we'll see the third. Do you like the second or the third? I like the third better. Okay, we're going to take away number 2. So, we're going to be doing a process of elimination right then and there. When we're going into the home, I'm normally a very positive person. However, when I'm going through the home, I'm like Debbie Downer, because the buyers are the ones that are looking at the pretty kitchens and the pretty bathrooms and, the nice floors. And that's great. That's what you should be doing. You're trying to see yourself in this home. I'm looking at the bad stuff. I'm going to point out the leaks in the ceiling, stains. I'm going to mention the floor seems a little uneven. I'm going to mention all of these things that you might not be seeing. Our goal is to make sure that you see everything possible your first time in. I'm not a home inspector, but obviously we're trying to avoid there being surprises during the home inspection. So anything that I can visually see, we're going to be looking at everything we possibly can. You may not care or even think to check like the water heater or the furnace or the roof. I'm going to be making sure we're looking at those things, looking to see if we can find the ages. How do the shingles look? Because you don't want to, go under contract on a home and realize later the roof needs total replacement. I can have an idea as to whether the roof is really old or not just by looking at it. I can't tell you if it's, brand new or 10 years old or 12 years old. That I can't tell you, but I can give you an idea based on what I've seen. So that's pretty much how the showings will go. I always encourage open houses, especially in your stage, wherever you are in your stage, because there's no harm in going into open houses. Check it out. If you think it's a little smaller than you would want, or you think it's a little bit over your budget, go look at it. It's fine. You know, when I'm going to be showing you houses that are definitely within budget, but nobody's going to be checking your pre-approval at the front door of the open house. So if you decide, you know, it's really telling. The more things that you can see helps you in your search. So if you go into an open house that's a little bit over your budget and you're like, you know what, this is what I want. Maybe you decide I'm going to wait another year, or I'm going to, you know, hold off until I can buy that. So, you know, it helps inform. When you do go to these open houses, there's just two things that I ask of my buyers. The first one is to let me know which ones you visit and what your feedback is, so that I'm aware of what you're seeing, and any feedback, any insight that you have will help me help you. And number two, when you sign in with the host of the open house, you let them know who your realtor is. It's just important that you disclose to the host that you're currently represented by a realtor.